Now, today we will be talking about Grignard's reagent. What is Grignard's reagent? Grignard's reagent is an alkyl magnesium halide. It is a very important synthetic tool. What is the significance and importance of Grignard's reagent? Normally, an organic chemist is interested in making new carbon-carbon bonds. To make a new carbon-carbon bond, because carbon is electropositive, we need a negative carbon to form initiate a reaction and to form the new carbon-carbon bond. And being electropositive, generally carbons cannot be an anion. Because generally whenever you look at a carbon in any compound, for example, in alcohol it is COH, OH is delta minus, carbon will be delta plus, CCl, chlorine will be delta minus, carbon will be delta plus, CnH2, everywhere carbon is delta plus. So at this point of time, when somebody wanted a negative carbon, what should be done? And that is the brilliant idea of Grignard's. What he did was, he bonded carbon with a metal, an electropositive metal like magnesium. So for the first time, carbon now looks upon magnesium as a stronger thing, and the carbon now gradually becomes delta minus because magnesium is electropositive. In addition to it, on the other side of the magnesium atom, you have an electronegative atom like chlorine or bromine. Now what happens? Whatever strength or whatever electron that magnesium was taken, was drawn away by the electronegative halogen atom. As a result of this, this carbon-magnesium bond becomes highly polarized, and for the first time you find carbon like a pile 1 becoming negative, and it sends away the magnesium as a positive thing. So the bond of CMgBr, the CMg bond is delta minus at the carbon end and delta plus at the magnesium, and therefore it easily breaks, releasing a carb anion. This is the most important significant thing of a Grignard's reagent. You are able to generate a carb anion. Using a carb anion, you can then attack any other electropositive carbon atom, thereby synthesize a new carbon-carbon bond and thereby synthesize a lot of organic compounds. So that is why we refer to Grignard's reagent as a very important synthetic tool, because it generates the carb anion. This is the Grignard's reagent, and this becomes delta minus, this becomes delta plus. For the first time, the alkyl group carbon is delta minus, and subsequently this will break, resulting in the formation of an R minus. This again will break, Mg2 plus, and the X minus. So you get a carb anion. This is the most important thing in a Grignard's reagent. You can generate a carb anion. Using this carb anion, we can prepare a large number of compounds. For example, generally C2H5MgBr can react with a group like this. We know this end will be delta minus, this end will be delta plus. Here it is delta minus, delta plus, and this will be delta minus. And this will then attack the, resulting in the formation of HCO minus, H, and the R comes here. Magnesium and 2 plus and Br minus. The second step is a hydrolysis step, H3O plus. This H3O plus molecule of hydrogen is taken by this, and it results in the formation of HCOH HR plus magnesium goes off as magnesium hydroxide, Br goes off as HBr. So this is what happens in almost all reactions involving a Grignard's reagent. So the most primary thing is the formation of the carbon. This carbon ion then leads to the product. I can summarize this very easily. Whenever you find in any question paper the atom magnesium in organic chemistry, it must strike in our mind that it is Grignard's reagent. And if there is Grignard's reagent, immediately you must get a clue that the other reagent will contain a C double bond. So it's a very easy logic, very easily you can remember all reactions of Grignard's reagent. Whenever you find magnesium, you will have it's a Grignard's reagent, and if it's a Grignard's reagent, R will be minus, the other reagent will be a carbonyl group, C double bond O, and accordingly you can very easily predict the product. This is always followed by hydrolysis, and the first step is not generally shown. Immediately you can write the product of hydrolysis. For example, C2H5 MgBr plus HC double bond OH followed by hydrolysis. What happens? This C2H5 MgBr, C2H5 will attack here. This double bond O will subsequently become OH. So very easily you can predict the product. HC, this will become OH, and that C2H5 will come here. Plus you get HBr and magnesium hydroxide. So very easily you can predict the product. Whatever is the R here will come here, double bond will become OH. Very easy to predict any product. Now for example, look at this compound. CH3C double bond OH followed by hydrolysis. What will happen? This C2H will come here, double bond O will become OH. Finished. CH3 OH C2H5H. Suppose it is this CH3 C double bond O CH3 followed by hydrolysis. What will happen? This will come here, this will become OH. Finished. CH3 OH CH3 C2H5. Again, if it is carbon dioxide, what will happen here? This C2H will come here, one double bond O will become OH. So what do you get? C double bond O OH C2H5. And if you take this and do hydrolysis, what will happen? This C2H5 minus H plus will come here. So you get what? An alkane. So you can make a primary alcohol, you can make a secondary alcohol, you can make a tertiary alcohol, you can make acids, you can make alkanes. So a variety of products can be synthesized. So this is the most important thing of Grignard's reagent. Suppose you get a question. When X is treated with this ketone followed by hydrolysis, if that is the product obtained, then what is X? So X will be if it is a magnesium containing compound, then it is a Grignard's reagent. So the question will be given X has a magnesium, and therefore it must be a Grignard's reagent. This is the other reagent. Double bond O would have become OH. This is there, this is there. What has come new? This thing has come new. Where would this have come from? It must have come from this. So what should be X? Then X should be C2H5 MgBr. Simple. So always remember what was double bond O will become OH, and there what will come? The alkyl part of Grignard's reagent will come. So it's just like a simple question. X plus Y is given, you have to find out Z, or Z and X will be given, you will have to find out Y. Y or Z will be given, you will have to find out this. So this kind of a simple reaction will be given. So always remember, generally Grignard's reagent will be reacting what kind of compounds? Compounds which contain C double bond O. And what is the alkyl part here? Will come at the carbonyl carbon, carbonyl carbon's oxygen will become OH. That's it. Another interesting thing I would like to mention here is the reaction of Grignard's reagent with an ester. Followed by hydrolysis. Followed by hydrolysis. What happens? C2H will come here, double bond O will become OH. But because it is hydrolysis, this also will cleave. And there also you will get a C2H5. So CH3 is there, double bond O has now become OH, one C2H5 will come here, and this C2H, because it goes off as CH3O minus, this is a carbon cation, CH3O minus will go off by hydrolysis. So there again you get the next alkyl group. So you get a tertiary alcohol. So with ester also you get what? Tertiary alcohol. With ketone and esters you get tertiary alcohols. Similarly, we said when Grignard's reagent is just hydrolyzed without any other reagent, you get an alkane. Similar product is obtained with alcohols as well as amines. There also you get only alkanes. So this is the importance of Grignard's reagent. To summarize again, Grignard's reagent is alkyl magnesium halide. It is capable of generating a carbon ion. Usually this carbon ion you can form lot of carbon-carbon new bonds. Therefore it's a very important synthetic tool. Very easy to remember. Grignard's reagent reacts with carbonyl type group C double bond O, where the R of the Grignard's reagent attacks the C double bond O carbon, double bond O then becomes OH.